Greetings, everybody. I'd like to talk about selling long-range puts, those that are a year or more away from expiration, and discuss whether or not they make more money than shorter duration puts. On the one hand, it can be said that they make more money because they pay you more premium at the time of the sale. But in terms of their volatility and actual percent return on the capital you use, they don't make more money, from what I can tell. Consider these scenarios with Amazon, Apple, and Google stock. What you'll see is, if you sell a put that's over a year away, yes, you will get paid a lot more than you would for selling a short-range put. But if you calculate the actual yield that you'd be getting, considering the time until expiration and the amount of capital/cash that you used, the return is much lower on long-range puts. For example, if you sell puts on Amazon with identical strike prices, but one expires in 65 days and the other expires in 464 days, the premiums would be $430 and $1,317. At first glance, it may seem like a much better deal to sell the long-range put, because in both instances, you're setting aside $12,500 to sell the cash-secured put. So someone might say, why not get $1,317 instead of just $430 if either way I'm setting aside the same amount of money? Well, we all have different circumstances and strategies, so depending on those, it could be more useful for someone to sell the long-range put. I just want to bring it to people's attention, in case they didn't know, that shorter range puts actually provide greater returns in terms of the actual value you get paid for the amount of time and money that you're setting aside. You see, even though you're only getting $430 in 65 days for $12,500 of capital used, that actually equates to a 19% annual return. With the long range put, you get a sizable $1,317 up front, but for having to wait 464 days until expiration, that actually ends up being just an 8% annual return on your $12,500. Now, someone might say, I don't plan on holding the contract until expiration anyway, so why not sell the long-range put, get a lot of premium, and then when the stock or market moves up in the short term, I'll just buy it back to close it and keep a sizable chunk of the premium? Well, I studied this with the TQQQ ETF, and it appears that that strategy doesn't work well because the long-range puts appear to have less volatility. And so when the market goes up, the long-range puts don't actually gain that much. I noticed that after a brief run-up on TQQQ, the shorter range put jumped 20% in value, while the long range put only increased by 5% in value. So even though the long range put initially paid more than double the premium of the shorter range put, when TQQQ rose, the shorter range put was the one that had the larger unrealized gain in actual dollars that you could close at. In conclusion, I'm not here to discourage anyone from selling long-range puts. I just wanted to share what I found out and observed about how the returns can compare between short-range and long-range puts sold. Good luck, everybody.